Yes guys, Harry here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. If you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you do decide you enjoyed the video, please do leave it a like. It does mean a lot to me. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing Game Week 294 over on Sorare. Hope you enjoy. Let's just get straight into things. First of all, we're going to review my own personal game week, and then we'll get into the game week as a whole. But from a personal perspective, it didn't really go as planned. Firstly, my all-star rare team hit 184 points. I was going into the game week without a goalkeeper, so we're only looking at 4 playing players. Seo Young-woo gave away a penalty. If he didn't do that, I think I would have scraped some ETH, maybe the lower threshold. My captain, Johansson, got me 66, Pablo Ruiz, 52, and Akida, I'm not too sure what happened with the Shonen game. They lost 5-1, but for whatever reason, the Opta feed didn't get any AA scores from the game, so I'm not too sure what went on there. But yeah, ultimately, we didn't get any Ethereum from our 4 playing players. Moving on to All-Star Rare Pro, as you can see, our goalkeeper did get an error led to goal. Even though he had a really good AA score, 2-1 victory, really good AA score to be fair, but the error led to goal did kill him. But regardless, Koga DMP'd for the second week running. It was thought that he did have COVID last week, but we thought he would have recovered in time. He clearly didn't. He wasn't even on the bench. And yeah, so I got a DMP there. Daniel Lutkin, I bought a couple of these prior to the game week deadline on Friday, hoping that he would smash this weekend. He got a 14.2 AA score. Wasn't great, missed a big chance as well, to be fair, 2 shots on target. They did win 2-1. There was 3 penalties in the game, to be honest. And yeah, 60 as a captain just isn't really going to cut it on these crazy weeks like we've seen this week. Juan Forza, I'm not sure what happened here, but this guy had the best AA score he's ever had. He got a 79, which is a 39.1 AA score in a 0-0 draw. I knew it was a good fixture. I didn't think he would perform this well because he's never done that previously. This is good proof the past data doesn't correlate to future data. Players can get better. Players can score better than they have done previously. And he did so. Got me a 93.4 as the super rare. This is a tier 3 reward actually. An under 23 reward. So yeah, buzzing with the score. Just annoyed that I played him in a team that had a DMP. And then Matsuta as my forward, 14.7 AA score for a forward. It's what we want to see. No goal or assist from him in a 2-0 away win actually to Antlers, which is a big result for Hiroshima. 244 points overall. Just isn't going to cut it, is it, these days? 120 points away from a tier 2. All-Star Rare Pro is kind of my throwaway lineup in some ways because, my main focus is always under 23s. So all the under 23s that don't get into my main 3 teams or basically go into here. But seeing how well Sforza scored this week, he might be in contention for one of my better teams. Moving on to under 23 rare, 263 points. Nowhere near good enough, 61 points away from a tier 3. Vandervoort conceded 2 goals, they won 4-2. Okay, AA score of 8.2. Isn't really going to do much, especially when you've got Murich getting last man tackles, even though he conceded a goal. So yeah, it just isn't going to work in under 23s. Daiki Shugioka, again, this is part of the Shonen game. He didn't get a 10 AA score because that is saying that he got a clean sheet when they lost 5-1. So clearly his score is going to be way worse than that. Like I said, I'm not sure what's happened with the Opta feed there. Wesley Fofana was on for a really decent score, to be fair. He lost his clean sheet. They drew 2-2 to Brentford. But a 24.7 AA score is still really solid. A double-double. Got himself 1 tackle, 5 interceptions, and he won 5 duels and lost 3. So yeah, 1 more tackle there would have been nice. Would have helped his AA score. But yeah, encouraging signs from the first game of the season in the Premier League. Like I mentioned, I bought a few Daniel Utkins, and I slotted another one in here. Same score, of course. Didn't really do much for me. And then Zauri, 3-1 away, lost, 4.3 AA score. It was a good fixture on paper, but they lost the game. Didn't get the DA that I was hoping for. And yeah, pretty disappointed with my under 23s this week. Under 23 Rare Pro, if you watch my streams, you'll know this is always my bread and butter. This is my main priority lineup every week. As long as I have the Super Rares to fit into that. I felt like I did this week, fixture-wise. Diego Costa conceded in the 88th minute. They won 5-1. That was an absolute killer. On Saturday evening, Nico Williams was the first player to play for me, and he got himself a clearance off the line. 1.4 AA score obviously isn't good at all on his debut in the Premier League for Forest. They lost 2-0 to Newcastle. Newcastle absolutely battered them. As you can see, the scores here for the Newcastle players were really, really good, basically. Bruno Guimaraes was unbelievable. Fabian Schär scored an identical goal to last season when he just smashed it from like 30 yards out, posting in. But yeah, really disappointed, even though he did get the clearance off the line, which really helped. But yeah, yellow card, a couple of fouls. Did get one tackle, a couple of clearances, a block, obviously conceded 2 goals. Lost the ball 11 times, won 3 duels but lost 5, and then 3 interceptions, which is pretty encouraging, and did get an attempted assist. But of course, tough place to go away to Newcastle, and obviously, yeah, really interesting to see how Forest do get on this season and see how many goal contributions he can get himself involved in. He did take a few set pieces as well, which is, of course, encouraging, but yeah, it's always going to be tough in the Premier League. Clearance off the line really did keep my game week open because he did play on the Saturday. Costa played Saturday night. I could have finished Saturday on like 150 points if Costa got his clean sheet, but he didn't. Another Daniel Lutkin. He is the third and final one. And then, yeah, Yari Vesharin, really good fixture. They smashed Sorare 3-1. Fabio Silva got a goal. Rafailov got 2 assists. Amuzu got 2 goals as well. But Vesharin didn't really do much in terms of goals and assists or AA. I think Opta took away a tackle of his after the game. But yeah, quite disappointing to be fair. Like I said, I went into the game thinking there were some really good fixtures here. Utkin had a really good fixture at home. For Sharon, the same. Obviously, Nico was always a bit of a doubt, but he came up clutch with the clearance off the line. Costa had a really good fixture. And then Jesus Ferreira played a little bit deeper in this game, and he got himself a 22.9 AA score as a forward, which is absolutely massive. 34 accurate passes, 3 duels won, and then shot on target, 2 big chances created, 3 attempted assists, 5 penalty area entries, which got him his 22.9 AA score, which is massive. It really, really is. If he can keep that up and add some DAs, yeah, he's going to be in contention to be one of the more elite forwards for these next couple of months up until the World Cup. 297 points just isn't good enough. We were 71 points away from a tier 2, 83 from a tier 1. So yeah, overall I am pretty disappointed in that team. Like I said, the fixtures were favourable. It just didn't plan out the way I would have liked it to have. Under 23 Super Rare, Tani definitely didn't get a clean sheet, like we've mentioned. They lost 5-1. His score's going to be way less than that. Segikawa came off the bench for 2 minutes, got a 1.2 AA. I fancied him to start. He clearly didn't. They lost 2-0, and I'm pretty sure the manager's been sacked since this fixture, Friday night or Saturday morning. So I do believe there will be some changes in that Antlers team. I'm hoping Segikawa can get back into that starting 11. And Varela had a really good AA score for me, to be fair. 66.6, 31.6 AA score. Really, really happy with that. Got a double-double. 9 interceptions, which is crazy. 6 duels won, 3 duels lost. And I captained him, so yeah, almost got me 100 points, which is kind of what you need in these super rare divisions. You know, you do need to get your captain right. And I did, but the rest of my team just didn't perform. Florentino Luis with a 10.6 AA in a 4-0 win. I'm gutted because I didn't play my Enzo Fernandez, which we will get into. We got an 87. But yeah, Florentino Luis got dragged after 63. Maybe his AA would have been a little bit better if he played the remainder of the game, but they do have a midweek fixture. So I'm sure the manager is thinking about that. And then Akida, again, part of the Shonen situation. I'm not sure what his AA score will be. He didn't score the goal or get the assist. He'd been benched prior to them scoring. So yeah, not expecting much there. So that 310 is false effectively because Tani definitely didn't get a clean sheet, and Akida, like I said, I don't know what happened with his score. Yeah, overall quite disappointing game week. I was going into the game week with, like I said, probably one team that I was hoping for something, and that was the under 23 Rare Pro, just going off fixtures. I do have quite a few injuries in my gallery right now, and it's killing me, especially on a gallery like I have where, it's quite condensed. You are sort of counting on all your players being fit, and that's not realistic. There's always going to be injuries and suspensions, but right now, it seems like half my gallery is injured, and you can't really afford to have that, especially with all the European football leagues coming back into play. There's so many crazy scores, which we will get into over these next coming months. So yeah, for me to compete, I need the bulk of my squad to be fit. In terms of my players, like I said, Enzo Fernandez scored the best. I didn't play him. I was spooked. Thought he was going to get benched. Considering they have a midweek game this upcoming game week 295, I had a feeling Florentino Luis would start, and he did, but I thought Julian Weigl would come in for Enzo Fernandez. Of course, he didn't. Fernandez scores, and he actually scored the best of my players this game week. As you can see, actually, only one dark green score, 87. Apart from that, we're looking at light green scores, starting with Forza. and then Varela. But to be honest, not many of my players really scored that well. Tani, that is a false clean sheet. Shunin was a common. Some okay green scores there, but nothing crazy. Yeah, overall a really, really poor game week, to be completely honest, in terms of, my players and their scoring. So we're going to go into the game week center now and have a little look at how some of the better under 23 players perform this week. At the top of the list, we have Alvaro Borrell, plays for Cincinnati, got himself a goal and an assist, scored 100. Bit annoying because I sold mine like 2 weeks ago, and ever since then, I think he's got decisive after decisive in 2 games. So really, really frustrating for him to score 100 there. Jota, doing what Jota does, 3 assists, 100. Yeah, guy's just absolutely insane. Jonathan David really surprised me, to be fair. I think he scored 2 goals in the first half and got an assist as well in that first half. So 95.6 for him, which was big. Mike Trezor had a really nice score. Upamecano, I was hoping when Frankfurt had scored, I didn't think that Upamecano's score would be that good. Of course, he gets a last man tackle at 95.1. Musiala, 2 goals, 94.7, which is huge. Nuno Tavares for Marseille on his debut scored a goal. I've seen it, to be fair, on his right foot, took it really well. 93.3, which is really big from him. We've got Hakimi there doing what Hakimi normally does. PSG, I think they won 5-0 away. Messi and Neymar in the thick of things there. Todibo had a really good game. I think that was a last man tackle as well. Ignatov, player that I used to own, 88.9. Really nice score. Kulusevski, I watched the highlights. I absolutely love him. I still don't know why I don't have one of his cards. 88 from him. Enzo Fernandez there. Szymanski on his final debut got 2 assists and 85.5 from him. I was really close to buying him pre-deadline on Friday. I ended up going with the Daniel Lukins. Probably missed the boat on Szymanski now after that first game. That's one big thing that I've seen after this first game week. Like, if one player has one good game, like, their price just completely rises. And yeah, it's really hard to get in on them. But that does create opportunities for in-play trading. But yeah, a lot of the big guns did score well this week. Gakpo being one of them. Tete got himself a penalty, 1 and a goal. Again, another player that I've looked at over the last couple months, hoping to get in, but I didn't. Santiago Rodriguez, part of one of my limited videos I did a few weeks ago, maybe last week, in that budget builder. He was my midfielder. Brian Brobby off the bench, goal and an assist. Lafont had a really good game and a clean sheet. Capaldo for Salzburg, done well. Yusuf for Antwerp, done well. Itanga, 2 goals. Another one that was in the gallery at some point. Savinov with a really good score as well in goals. Pavlovic, I think, made his debut for Salzburg. Really nice score there. Anthony, solid 75. Kenneth Taylor, 74.8. A lot of the big guns this week did really score well. Of course, the biggest absentee was Mbappe. Of course, he was announced injured, I think, just after the deadline. So, to be honest, I thought I'd have a chance this game week. I really, really did. I clearly didn't. I was nowhere near it, even with Mbappe DMPing. So imagine how much harder it's going to be next week when Mbappe does probably come back and start scoring every game again. So yeah, top of under 23 Rare Pro, this Brooklyn Football Club, 461 points. It's obviously a really good score, but Joey Veerman I think he got subbed at half time, so that could have been even more. Getting your captain right there was massive. Jota with basically 4 points. Haaland got himself 2 goals. I watched the game yesterday. That was really nice to see from him. Trezor, captain there, 125 points. Basically, maxing out your captain is just going to be huge. Getting that captain right is everything. Sean in 7th. PSU fans 2 got himself a Jota captain, of course. Trezor went crazy as his super rare. But yeah, anyone with Jota captain this week kind of just killed it, didn't they, really? I imagine the trend holders are waiting for that matrix change to come into play. But yeah, here we go. Mbappe DMP with 401 points. So, they won 5-0. He's probably going to score a goal or 2 at a minimum. Let's say he gets 80. That's a 480 then. That guy probably wins the division with his Mbappe. Let's have a look at the super rare division, how that went. What we got at the top? Spice at the top, 501 points. Yeah, that's big. The only player to hit 500 or over 500. JR Duke with a captain Jota, 144 points. That is absolutely huge. I think Adeyemi actually got injured, didn't he, this week? Or this weekend. Jude Bellingham with a 76 as a super. Upamecano, 122. It's huge. So hard to compete. Yeah, you need perfect weeks. That's just the way it's going to have to go, I think. Even though here, if you get 3 players scoring over 100, you can kind of afford, as it shows here, to have two other stinkers, basically. I think this is more true probably in the super rare division compared to the like rare pro and the rare divisions. Let's have a look at under 23 rare, how that went on. Then we'll go into the limiteds. 436 as the winner. That's big. Captain Hakimi, lovely. Captain Jota. Look at that. Perfect scores. Captain Tete, Jota again. So yeah, if you captain Jota this weekend, you were massively at an advantage, of course. How many people actually scored over 400? There's quite a few here, isn't there? What's that? 429. 29 players scored over 400 this week in under 23 rare, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, competition's really heating up. It's not going to be easy at all. Under 23 limited, what have we got over here? 473, and that's with a no clean sheet from Costa, and simply Alex takes the winning position. Alex, congratulations, man. First time I actually met Alex this weekend, or Friday night, at the Sorare meetup in London, which was amazing. Wicked score there from Alex. Upamecano, yeah, look at that. As a four, Upamecano, Slamansky, Enzo, and Jota, all scoring over 94s. Just unbelievable, really, isn't it? This will probably get changed because, like I said, Tani didn't get a clean sheet, so I'm not too sure what will happen there. I imagine he'll lose his points. But yeah, super competitive, man. Look at that. Top 10 hitting 446 or above. It's getting tough to compete, man. But like, I've seen a load of people moaning and stuff on Twitter, and some of it's justified, but ultimately, I don't think games should be easy. Like, I don't think it should be easy to win. On the other side of things is like, well, should they be this hard to win? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Yeah, simply Alex with the win there. Interesting to see who he does get. But yeah, let's have a look at some of the other regions. We'll go Champion Europe Limited. What were the scores over here? Oh my God. 515. Donnarumma, Upamecano, Joshua Kimmich, Neymar, and Messi. Wow. Nearly 516 points. That is insane. Belmar in second with 507. Wow. That is insane. Top 8, all scoring over 500. McBride there in 10th. That is incredible. But as you can see, like, most of the teams are the same. Like, there's just one or two players that have varied. But ultimately, if you're only playing 5 players, especially in limited with so many players playing, there's going to be multiple teams with the same 4 players, multiple teams with the same 5 players. It's just going to happen. And it's all about that XP at the top, I guess. Because as you can see there, the only difference between these two teams is obviously Upamecano. And he did score like 12 points more than Marquinhos did, to be fair, so that I can see how that one's justified. This one is the exact same team. The only difference is Belmar captain Neymar and Brice captained Kimmich, and yeah, the 1.44 points difference is the difference between second and third. Is it the same team again? Yeah, it is captain Neymar, which is interesting. This one has Nkuku in. This is the same team again as second and third. So, yeah, it's just crazy how, your captain, XP, I think it matters probably way more down in the limited divisions. I don't play limited divisions enough to really know how much it really does have an effect. Of course, it has an effect. I just don't play it enough to like really realize it. But seeing what teams were at top of that division then really shines some light on it. Okay, so top of Challenger Europe, scores are a little bit less, 463 as the winner. What have we got? Benfica, Wob at Salzburg went crazy, Grimaldo. So we got Benfica defensive stack. Maxime scored really well, and then Marco Gruel as the captain. Yeah, a little bit more variation here in Challenger, even though there's still some really good scores. The teams are a little bit different, at least. Dusan Tadic doing what he normally does. But yeah, scores are definitely way lower than Champion Europe. That's always going to be the case. If PSG and Bayern crush like they did this weekend, even though Neuer had a bit of a stinker, I think he had an error led to goal, scores are just going to be outrageous, aren't they? If you're going to play PSG stacks, you're probably going to have a Neymar and a Messi up front. And if they score 2 or 3 between them, assist each other, you're looking at 200s basically, like 100 each. Obviously with a captain bonus as well, XP. Unless you have them, it just seems really tough to compete. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I just think, you need a lot of quality. But that's the same, in every division. The best players are going to score the best. Like, it's just as simple as that. It's a game, and we can't expect poor players to score well. That's just not how it works. And ultimately, yeah, not everyone can afford the best players. That's just kind of the way the cookie is crumbling right now. And yeah, don't get me wrong, there is changes that probably could be made to mix up variation. Like if it was an SO5, let's say it was an SO7, then of course there's way more variables then, and obviously 2 extra players being scored. So you'd like to think there would be less similar teams and the scores would be varied a little bit more. Maybe an SO11 at some point, who knows? I don't know what Sorare have in the pipeline. Maybe they don't even have that in the pipeline at all. Maybe that's just me completely chatting rubbish. But yeah, there's definitely suggestions and there's definitely things that could improve things and optimize things and optimize scoring in a way which makes it a little bit less like top heavy in terms of the players that you need. But like I said, ultimately the best players are going to score the best, and unfortunately they're going to be the most expensive cards. Yeah, I've seen a lot of moaning this last weekend on players scoring, but it's only going to get worse. We've got Spain coming in, we've got Italy coming in. It's going to get way more competitive. The only silver lining is obviously there's going to be more rewards, hopefully, when all the new cards come through. Your Belgiums, Eredivisie, Italian leagues. There's loads of rewards to be given out over this coming season, which means more places for prizes. Doesn't mean it's going to get less competitive. It just means that more players are going to get rewarded for finishing lower down in the divisions. So yeah, interesting to see what you think about that. Let me know in the comment section. If you'd like me to do this every week, I know the game week hasn't actually finished yet, but it basically has. Let me know if you would enjoy seeing this every game week, and I could make it like a weekly thing on the channel. Hope you have enjoyed the video. If you did, please do leave it a like. Like I said at the start of the video, please do subscribe if you're new. If you're completely new and you haven't signed up to Sorare yet, there's a link in the description of this video that will get you 1 free limited card once you've purchased 5 from the new card auctions. I hope you have a good game week. Hope you have a great day, and I shall see you guys in the next video.